The weirdest samples in hip-hop history.
Hip-hop is a genre defined by samples, from Tupac to Kanye to even Playboi Carti. Often, rappers will use soul music, pop hits, other rappers, and much more as key samples in their songs. While this type of sampling can lead to amazing tracks that—
Let me change the title real quick. Do that. Let's go.
Reinvent an already great idea, sometimes a standard sample can get pretty boring. Because of how repetitive popular sampling methods are, we've seen an increase in bizarre and wacky samples. These unique methods don't always lead to great songs, but sometimes an artist is able to turn a weird idea into something awesome, or at the very least interesting, which is a skill that JPEG Mafia excels at. JPEG Mafia, either on or off the drugs.
I'm looking for me. I've never tapped into JPEG Mafia. Let me know now if I should tap into JPEG Mafia. I never felt inclined to, never thought that was a good idea in my head. Hey, let me listen to JPEG Mafia today. That's never been like a thought I had in my mind ever. But I'm open to listen, you know, I got open ears.
I'm looking for. Look, I ain't really into flashing. I feel like an accident I never chose.
On his spectacular 2024 project, I Lay Down My Life for You, JPEG Mafia showcases just how creative he can get with his samples. Track 11, Either On or Off the Drugs, samples an old Future song titled Turn Off the Lights. However, this sample from 2012 isn't as straightforward as it may sound. When listening to Either On or Off the Drugs, you may notice that the sample sounds nothing like Future. Well, this is because JPEG actually sampled an AI 1973 blues cover of the Future song. Now, I'm sure you're a bit confused. To put it into other words,
an AI 1973 cup
channel by the name of AI for the Culture uses AI to turn modern rap songs into R&B, blues, and even soul tracks. These songs end up sounding like a 70s or 80s tune, but with out-of-place lyrics. A funny combination that has allowed AI for the Culture to gain 150,000 subscribers.
I don't know what I would do without y'all.
Despite the high subscriber count of the channel today, when JPEG Mafia found the video, they only had around 50,000. On top of this, the Turn Off the Lights cover was one of their least popular uploads at the time, which made the sample extremely obscure, and even more impressive that JPEG was able to find it. When the origin of this sample was discovered, some fans were left
who gonna be the first rapper to sample a fart? That's what I want to know, man. Who gonna be the first to like sample a fart and make it sound hard? If someone could sample a fart and make that into good music, man, that might be the GOAT. That just might be the GOAT, bro. Cause no, everybody's sampling video games. Everybody's sampling other songs. There was the BMW i8 sample. That was kind of crazy. But like, if you can sample a fart and make that look good, like throw some 808s on that fart, throw some drums on that fart, throw a quick melody, a counter melody to that fart. That'd be insane. Let me know if it's been done before. Let me know.
A masterful producer such as JPEG Mafia would stoop down to the levels of AI. However, in my opinion, this sample was done so creatively that I'll let it pass, and the song itself is fantastic. However, the sample on the next song might ruin it for some fans. Kanye West, Remote Control.
Oh, the Glib Glop Gop Golop.
The next artist should come at no surprise. Kanye West, who is known for his absolutely insane Twitter rants and spectacular music career, was once a master sampler. From Chipmunk Soul to Daft Punk to 1930s Christmas music, Kanye has always used some creative sampling techniques. In the case of track 12 on his 2021 album, Donda, Kanye tried something extremely silly and out of place, and then proceeded to double down on it. The track Remote Control features a sample from an animated Christian movie called Straczynski and the Mysterious House. Kanye sampled a specific character from the movie known as the Gwablo Globla Glop.
I am the Glob Glo Gab Galap, the Schwabble Double Wobble Gobble Flip.
Wait, what did he just say?
Specific character from the movie known as the Gwablo Globla Glop.
It's the Glib Glob Glob Golob, bro, not the Glob 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 Glob. You gotta get it right, bro.
I am the glob
Lip
glob
go
gab
glob go
galab,
lob.
the
Like
schwabble
what?
dabble wabble gabble flibber blah blah blah. I am the glob glob gab galab, the schwabble dabble wabble gabble flibber blah blah blah.
The Guablo Globla Glop originally became a meme in 2018 due to his absurd appearance and goofy song. Initially, most fans thought this outro to Remote Control was quite funny and a very Kanye thing to do, but Kanye was not done there. A few months later, Ye released a deluxe edition of Donda, changing the tracklist of the project around, as well as adding a few songs and remixes. One of the tracks he chose to remix was Remote Control. Ye added a 90-second Kid Cudi verse, which was quite good despite having 0 drums throughout its entire duration.
You'll not understand, I am not your man. See, I'm super, I got plans.
Following Cudi's contribution, the Guablo Globble Glop made a return, but Kanye being Kanye made a very confusing artistic decision. The meme's screen time was increased from 15 seconds to 53 seconds, and the instrumentation in the background is given more attention than Cudi's entire verse, which adds all the icing on the cake.
Said, ooh,
While the Globlo Globla Glop's appearance is very random, the foundation for this next beat is even more absurd. Charles Hamilton, Windows Media Player.
Somewhere on a desktop leaves the zip file mixtape of the next pod kid.
Charles Hamilton is a relatively unknown rapper who managed to gain some popularity in the late 2000s with tracks like Brooklyn Girls and Windows Media Player. The latter is specifically interesting as the main melody of the beat is the Windows XP startup sound.
Somewhere on a desktop leaves.
Charles's usage of the sample is an extremely creative way to produce a very relaxing yet smooth instrumental. I will note that as the song continues, Charles doesn't switch up the drum or melodic patterns at all, which causes the novelty of the sample to wear off towards the end of the track. However, the fact that a relatively unknown rapper was able to flip such an unconventional sample in 2008 is extremely impressive. But the rapping on this track is nowhere near as strong as it is in the next song, J. Cole, Hunting Wabbits.
I ain't cool with these dudes, I don't fool with these dudes, I don't wanna show love, I don't wanna give that.
J. Cole has always been a fairly standard rapper. His beats and flows rarely offer anything super unique. However, his pen game and hit-making ability have led him to belong in the big three, or at least in his opinion. In his 2024 mixtape, Might Delete Later, track 4 showcases an extremely weird sample, but not for the reasons you may expect. In Hunting Wabbits, J. Cole samples the intro from an animated video made by the very well-known Meat Canyon.
Shh. Be very, very quiet. I'm hunting wabbits. Be very, very quiet. I'm hunting wabbits.
The strangest thing about this song is not the sample itself, but who the sample comes from. Meat Canyon is a YouTube creator with over 8 million subscribers. He's known for his weird and disturbing animations, which often serve as extremely uncomfortable pieces of satire. The fact that J. Cole sampled something from Meat Canyon is strange by itself, but it goes even further. The original Meat Canyon video where the sample originated from was titled Wabbit Season, a parody of the Looney Tunes characters Elmer Fudd and Bugs Bunny. However, this wasn't just any Meat Canyon video. The original upload was taken down by Warner Brothers and is now only accessible through re-uploads on YouTube. This means that J. Cole, or more likely his producer, went out of his way to sample a hidden video from a popular YouTuber, which likely has never happened in mainstream hip-hop before. But the next sample also surprisingly comes from another famous influencer, Smaggle Hop, I'm Already Outside.
Like a
The final track on Smagglehop's 2025 EP, titled Post Pigpartum, samples an extremely popular virtual influencer. Over the last few years, John Pork has become one of the most famous internet memes. He's essentially a human-sized pig who's said to be popular on social media. Despite the silliness of his origins, people have managed to create enjoyable music around the character. In fact, John Pork himself released a single titled You're Calling John Pork on April 20th, 2023. This song's main refrain became the foundation of I'm Already Outside, with the main melody being a sped up version of John Pork's very own song. Overall, the genre of hip-hop has become home to countless weird samples that often leave the listener confused but happy. Part of what makes hip-hop so special is its versatility, and sampling is probably the largest reason for the versatile nature of the genre. If you enjoyed this video, go watch my